Welcome back, everyone, to our Let's Play series of Motorsport Manager. So now here we are, a couple of races into Season 2, and the best thing that I'm enjoying right now about this particular season is that we are getting to work on some new parts. Last season, we didn't get a chance to do a whole lot. We got a couple of new brake packages, but that's really it. Now we have a little bit more money to work with. We're still over 21 million. And we're getting an opportunity to start working on some new parts and pieces to the car. So our performance is terrible right now, which we really got to see highlighted in our last race where we started on the pole for our division and weren't able to bring home a top 5. That, I think, is going to get better as time goes on and as hopefully our car gets better in relation to the other teams. However, the one thing we have to keep in mind is that the other teams, they're working on getting better too. So we have to keep that in mind and keep working hard, and hopefully we can slowly climb our way into this thing. And my plan is for next season, Season 3, in this car, we'll actually be able to compete with these guys on a much better basis and have an opportunity to, if not have an opportunity to win the championship, at least we'll be consistently in the running for podium finishes, and that's what we're looking for. We'll get to the championships. That'll happen over time. But we don't want to shortcut anything here and take some of the fun out of it. I'm enjoying the grind. I'm enjoying having to work for this, and this is one of the fun parts of the game for me. I mean, let's face it, if we could go win the championship in the first season, then it gets kind of boring really quick. So I'm enjoying the grind and enjoying the difficulty of trying to get ourselves there. All right, let's see what kind of question they've got. After needing some hasty repairs, let's see, maybe you're not focused enough on the car's reliability. Yeah, we get it. Seemed like we just had this question. Never have been a fan of these interviews in the game. Same thing with the Twitter messages that pop up during the race weekend, which you guys don't see because I cut all that stuff out. I do not like them. It would be nice if they would have updated that to at least be somewhat relevant, but they never have, and so you know, just sort of got what you got in the game with that. All right, let's take a look at our pit crew. I'm guessing we're going to need to make some changes. And yeah, I'm seeing some guys that we don't want them to get too low. So let's go ahead and start making some swaps here. All right, let's swap out rear tire changers, looking for that refueling most importantly. And let's see, let's go here. Of course, this is going to slow our pit stops down just a little bit, but we're not so much worried about that. What we're mainly concerned with is just trying to get these guys back on the right track with their stamina. And let's see, where else do we need to be? Let's go ahead and swap out our front changers as well. Oh, we need a front jack person. Even though he hadn't lost much stamina, he didn't have a whole lot to begin with. So let's see who we've got realistically that we can put in there. There we go, 94. Oh, this guy, good front tire changer, I'm actually thinking here. Let's go ahead and swap that out. We need another front tire changer. And, well, we may be out of luck on that. Okay, now we need one more person for the front jack, and this will do. There we go. That's perfectly fine with me. That'll get everybody swapped out. Yeah, in fact, absolutely everybody swapped out and get them the rest they need. Not really looking at hiring any new people right now. I see, you know, the 12 jumps out at me, but the mistake chance, we'll see. Let's go ahead and reject all of these guys. Try to get some new folks in here over time. The 200 grand that you have to pay these guys up front makes no sense to me, but beyond that, our pit crew is pretty good right now anyway. In fact, if we go back to the home screen, yeah, I mean, we're not bad. We're sort of middle of the road right now, so this isn't where we need to be focused. So we're not going to worry too much about that. Same thing with scouting. We're not going to worry about that right now. That's just preparing for the future. I do, however, want to make sure, let's see, do we still have plenty left in the queue? Yeah, we got plenty. Okay, so now it's going to be a matter of getting back to working on the parts and designing new parts. So we've got a new suspension in the works. Okay, that's good. Let's work through these emails once again. And now come in. Okay, so we're working on new suspension down here. So we'll be getting some new parts down there. I'm not sure that we're going to be able to use any of them, or maybe just one of them. So right now we're focused on the gearbox. So let's go ahead and add both gearboxes. But we only want... Nope. Are we... Oh. Thought I already cleared that out. My bad. All right, so let's move the staff back over while I'm thinking about it. And we'll use the, whatever it is, 8 or 9 days left before this new suspension is done. We'll use that to work solely on the two gearboxes. And hopefully, before the next race, we can get these up to a reasonable point of view. I mean, let's face it, we're at 57 and 52 right now. Hopefully, we can get at least to that level with these two new parts. And if we can, then that'll be great. I'm also very much looking forward to when we can upgrade our factory so we can unlock some more areas here, because it would be nice to be able to work on more than two at a time. All right, but other than that, I think we're good to go. This is where we need to be for now, so let's go ahead and move forward. And then at this point, looks like we got another vote coming up. And then we got our design will be done for the suspension. We got some more sponsorships. So a lot going on here with 17 more days until our next race. All right, scouting reports. We don't care about those right now. And we've got what? We got 3 more days roughly to go there. Let's see. Our sponsorships, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 available right now. Okay, so we'll let those ride it out for now, and then we'll assign those before our next race. Okay, our next political vote. Let's see what we've got now. What are we wanting to vote over? Semi-sequential pit stops. Okay. So if the pit stops happen semi-sequentially, which means that in this case, what they mean is the refueling and part fixes happen at the same time. So this would bring down the time you spend in the pits. Okay, that's not bad. Part fixes, I mean, it's not a huge deal, because once you get past the first few races of the season, nobody's really doing very many fixes during the race anymore. So, okay, I don't really care one way or another there, so I'm just going to abstain and get that extra voting power for something that comes up in the future that I do actually care about. Okay, so this one's rejected. Wow, nobody really wanted that one. That was easily voted down. So we'll stick with the long pit stops. And now we'll get to that suspension being done. There we go. New suspension build is complete. So we'll take a quick look in here at the suspension, and there you see our mark that says that we do have an illegal part here. Okay, so we got up to 85, or again, as the season goes on and we're able to focus on performance in the future, we'll actually be able to max this out at 85. But now we want to design another suspension and see if we can get well above that 85 number. All right, and for our purposes, I'm not going to worry about these unfortunate risk parts, because we're not going to be able to use these things anyway. I was hoping to avoid doing this, but just not going to happen. So we'll take the plus 30, plus 35. Yeah, I mean, it's 35 there. And then we'll go there. So that'll get us up to 120. So that'll be good. And the next time when we have this third slot open up, we can just continue working more and more of that. Or who knows, we may go and look at the brakes or some different things. But the point is that we are definitely getting better overall. It's just that we're not necessarily going to be able to use all of that for the time being. All right, so we're at 35 and 51. So at least one of these is going to be usable in our next race, although it's still going to be pretty low, I would imagine. I'm most interested to see what our sponsors are going to give us. All right, we got a birthday, and I can tell you I am not going to worry about birthdays. We're not spending the money on that. Okay, let's see. Scouting facility. Yes, we need a scouting facility, but not right now. All right. Well, it costs 100 grand, but it says morale plus 10. I mean, morale is already at 100, so we're not going to spend that money. That's not what we're about right now. Let's see where we are with sponsors. We got one that is full. Let's see what they've got for us. Well, how about that? I don't really like any of this, so but we're gonna have to get used to it for a little while. Time will take care of this, and I'm gonna take this deal because it's simply the shortest, and so we'll go with that. Turn over these sponsorship deals as often as we can. Looks like this deal is not going to change. We're not going to get that third offer, so we're just going to take the 100,000 and move on there. I'm tired of looking at this being an open slot. Okay, so we'll give it the 5 more days until the next race, and we'll see what we can get. Okay, so there we go. It is time to race. So first and foremost, I want to go in and take a look at our vehicle and see how we've done. So we're at 58 and 69. So the 69 in particular is going to be much better off than where we were before at 52 and 57. So that's really good. Also, the 58 is still above where we have been. So we'll take it. We will take that. And okay, not bad. Not bad. And we're also just a couple of days from being done with our second suspension. So then we'll have some choices to make as to where we want to go from here. And I'm excited about that. Let's just continue working on these parts as much as we can. All right, the offers, let's see, 8th or above, 10th or above. Well, this is going to be a pretty easy one because they're giving us the $1 million up front. We could say for the next 4 races, you know, we can do 8th or above, surely, in every one of those. However, it's only 150 and it still wouldn't get us up to this number. So we'll take the $1 million. That will get us the ability to design an extra part, roughly. And let's see, we've only got one offer here. 200 per race. That's probably all we're going to get. I'm just going to go ahead and take it, even though we only had the one offer. Okay, let's get rid of the scouting. Remember those numbers down at the bottom get on my nerves sometimes. All right, so here we go. We're back pretty much the same place that we have been the entire time since we started this playthrough as far as our bonus pools. So we're going to be looking for 5th or above, and if we get 5th or above, you can see we're still under $1 million lost on this particular race. So we're better than we were last year at this time. We got more money, and so everything is going really well. Let's see what they have in store. We're not going to be using any super softs except for qualifying. So immediately I move these down to 3. And 7 is a lot of sets. All right, we'll do that. It doesn't matter a whole lot as long as we've got enough soft and medium tires, which this will definitely do for us. All right, let's fit some parts in here. Make sure everything is where we want it to be. And as we come down here, let's go ahead and move. For now, I am going to give the higher number on reliability. I'm going to give it to car number 1 and not worry as much about the performance, because if we can get by without making any repairs, that would be tremendous. And we're close to being able to do that. I mean, we're close to that point. Okay, I think this is where we want everything to be. Let's go ahead and head to the racetrack. All right, so after practice and qualifying, we had some interesting issues that developed during both practice and qualifying with the weather. So we didn't quite get an opportunity to get full level 2 bonuses on everything you can see here. Because of the weather, we only got level 1 on the tires themselves, and I'm not even sure that's the tire I'm going to end up using, but we'll see how it goes. We're starting off on soft tires on both cars because that lines up better with the fuel. Once again, I really wish we could see the maximum amount of fuel that we could put on board, which it doesn't show you during practice. So or at least not that I'm aware of. So that's unfortunate, but the soft tire lines up the best with the amount of fuel we have. The fuel is going to be the limiting factor, and of course I've dropped it down even a little bit lower for car number 2, but of course we're not going to spend a whole lot of time worrying about car number 2. We're not going to start out pushing at all because, again, we want to run these stints as long as we can and keep the tires and the driver's stamina as healthy as possible. So let's go ahead and get this race started. All right, you see a lot of medium tires here, which is what I would expect to see and what I would prefer to be using myself. But, you know, again, we'll see how it all works out. We are starting at the back of the field. So our plan here is, it would be nice if we didn't have to make any fixes and repairs during the race to car number 1. That would be great. For some reason, Petra just cannot get off to a good start. She falls behind every time, which is pathetic when considering she's behind the team car, which is pretty bad right now. All right, let's push a little bit with the tire and try to get her up to speed. I mean, this is bad. They're this much off the pace. This is bad. So we'll see how long we're able to do a stint. If we're only able to go about 45 minutes or so, that will change the strategy some. If we're able to go that full hour, then that will be helpful. Of course, the fact that I'm having to push here is not good because that means that's just more degradation on the car itself, in addition to all of the components. So yeah, I have absolutely no idea why our strongest car by a large margin with the best drivers is somehow lagging behind car number 2. There is absolutely no reason for that. In fact, I'm going to try to get this other car out of the way and see if I can. Okay, so now you go back to doing your thing. I mean, there's just no reason for that. And as a team, we don't need it to be the case. We need car number 1 to be out doing the very best they can. I mean, you can see we're on soft tires and we still can't keep up with the folks on the medium tires. That's no good. All right, once again, we have lost all tire heat. So it looks like we're going to have to do some repairs during this race. Okay, good news is we're about 23, 24 minutes in. All right, going to try to keep a little bit of tire heat in there, but I'm not particularly interested in pushing a whole lot. All right, so we've got one car that has already had to make a pit stop. That's definitely no good for them. And for us, I mean, this season, last season it would have mattered. This season it really doesn't matter, simply because only the top 5 are getting points anyway. All right, there we go. We finally got a pass in. I was beginning to wonder if Petra was even capable of making passes. So it looks like we're going to have to push here unless I go to a different tire. And yes, your stamina is low, but you're just going to have to ride it out in car number 2. Oh, that's no good. We've got a car that is off the pace, a loose wheel nut. That's hard to imagine 35 minutes into a run, but so be it. All right, tires are starting to wear down. We're down into, let's see, about 36, I believe is what that says. Okay, so we're trying to make up a little bit of time, and you can see over here, we're not that far off from the other teams. We're definitely off the pace, but not as far off the pace as I was originally thinking. We've been able to catch up some. So let's try to salvage these tires as long as we can. Looks like 45-minute stints are going to be the call of the day. It's looking that way anyway, because making it a full hour doesn't appear as though it's going to be doable based on the tire wear. But we're going to push this thing and see just how far we can get. All right, let's go ahead and do our first pit stop. And let's put second driver in. Let's go with, I'll tell you what, I want them to go a little bit farther if I can, just to get them out of the way, basically. And let's do pit strategy. Won't be any different than what we're normally doing. Okay, let's keep focus on driver number 1. Okay, pit stops are happening. You can see the different tires are coming on. And yeah, I'm going to be changing tires onto the medium tires. Yeah, that's definitely something we're going to be doing. Alright, I'm going to try to salvage as much as I can from these tires, but now I think we've gotten about all we're going to be able to get. Let's go with driver number 2. Tire choice, actually for him, no, I'll tell you what, because of the difference in the red here, I think they're pretty close to the same. Let's go ahead and put the mediums on there and fill it up. Let's look at the park condition. Where are we at on those? Okay, 57, 56. Yeah, we're seeing some things I don't necessarily want to see on those. Not good news. All right, the first meaningful pit stop that we have. All right, get the drivers swapped out. And everything going good so far. And all right, I like it. I like it. Didn't see any mistakes. Pit stop time was good, or at least according to the game's metrics. And let's go ahead and try to push a little bit. I would love to push the engine as well, but we saw last race that that is an iffy proposition at best. So I'm going to save that to the end if we do that at all. Okay, let's go ahead and back off. Trying to run the tire temps a little bit lower than I would prefer, but that allows me to push a little bit less. All right, let's see where we are. We're 53 seconds off. Yeah, we're quite a ways back at this point from where we would need to be in order to reasonably think about getting up to 5th. So this is not looking good. We definitely have a lot of work to do. All right, what do our lap times look like? See, we're running, see, there's a 29.8. Yeah, they're a good bit, for the most part, they're a good bit faster than us. Of course, that changes depending on the traffic you're in. So we just need some more car performance. Okay, you want to push a little bit? Fine, let's push a little bit. At this point, I don't think we have a whole lot to lose because our speed is not going to keep us out there and get us where we need to be. So we already know we're going to have to make one extra pit stop at least than what I was planning. All right, so we're about 5 seconds out of 21st, and then another 12 or so out of the next position. So we're not looking stellar. Look at those Class A guys just blow right by us. I believe they have the ERS, the energy recovery system, on those cars as well. I believe that's the symbol that it's showing as they go by us in general. Okay, let's try to back off a little bit. Again, if we're going to have to make repairs, I want to make as few as possible So we're looking at making a wing repair at least, and looking like a couple of other pieces. Look at that, 52% on the engine. Yikes. Engine repairs take forever. And realistically, in real life, it would be much longer than even that. Alright, so we're getting down to it on car number 2. Let's go ahead and set them up with a pit stop and get them out of the way. Alright, more medium tires for them. Fill it up. And I tell you what, we're not going to do any repairs on them. If they fall out of the race, they just fall out of the race. Okay, let's go ahead and push a little bit. Alright, we're doing pretty good here on car 1 as far as stamina goes. Looking pretty good there. Tire wear is looking good. Fuel and all of that are looking pretty good. So I'm going to try to get as much as I can out of this particular stint. Yes, I know, it's showing low stamina. I might need to go and adjust that, and so it doesn't tell me right at 30, but the fact that it's different for every driver, I wish it was a percentage or some value above the red number or something like that rather than just a hard number. Okay, so we're showing about 12 laps of fuel left and plenty of tire, 33% tire. Running low on stamina, but still, we've got some stamina left to use before we need to change drivers. And we're at 49 minutes, so that's good. That's good. That's really our only hope, is to get out of here with fewer pit stops, because we're definitely not going to do it on speed. All right, let's take a look at the part condition. Let's see, 36%. Wow. If I don't push anymore, can we get by with that? I doubt it. But maybe that's the only thing we'll have to fix. Maybe. If I don't push. If I push, then we're probably going to have to fix a few more things. All right, so we're up to 18th, but of course that's due to the pit cycling. I do like to see that these guys are on super softs, because that makes me hope that they're going to have to make yet another pit stop than they were initially planning to make. Alright, so we're running really low on fuel and stamina and everything, quite frankly. Alright, so we're at 1:06. Let's go ahead and pit the next time by. Alright, we're going to put another set of mediums on. Let's do fill it up. Part condition. I mean, let's roll the dice. I mean, if we drop out of the race, then we've lost nothing, because we're not in position to get any points anyway. So we might as well just go for it here. Because, like I said, if we really don't have anything to lose. Now, this time last year, with the top 10 getting points, then yeah, we'd have had something to lose. But right now, we really just don't. We've got an hour 4 left in the race. Let's hope for a good pit stop. Okay, look good. And wow, I saw somebody, one of the cars that passed us, needing repairs. So that's good for us. I'm not sure if that was in our division or not. All right, we've got, yep, there's a car in the pits right there that's getting repairs. And, oh, look at that. Look at that. So we're going to have to come in for tires. Now, how quickly do we come in for tires? Let's go ahead and come in next time by. Let's see, where are we going? Yeah, it's going to take a little while to get up to the wets. So we're going to have to change tires a couple of times. And I tell you what, I want to continue to keep this car full of fuel. So we're going to go ahead and do that as well. All right, trying to time this weather and the water on track for the tires is a headache, to say the least. All right, so far so good. All right, oh, a mistake on the refueling. Come on. Now look, you can't have a 10-second penalty on fuel that was going in for like 3 liters or something. All right, let's see. Can we put in another driver? Nope, not yet. Let's go ahead and just change out the tires for right now. And then hopefully they can last long enough so we can put wets on there. All right, so nothing going our way in this particular race. A 10-second penalty for putting in a small amount of fuel. Boy, you gotta love it. All right, so some of the teams are pushing it because there's a little grip left in the track. So they're pushing it. Now, we would have gotten slaughtered trying that. And in fact, have gotten slaughtered trying that very thing. All right, we're going to keep an eye out. And I'm trying to get a glimpse to see how long we're going to be in full wets territory. We're getting there. That much is obvious that we're definitely getting there. In fact, we've got a few people changing on the fuel wets. Now, we've seen this play out. I mean, we've seen this game before. And putting on full wets in these conditions should drop them straight down like a rock. Now, in a few more minutes, however, the tides will turn and full wets will be perfect. But let's see. I want to see their lap times. Yeah, they're several seconds off the pace. Not as much as what I would imagine they should be. All right, here we go. So how long are we going to stay up in... In fact, let's go ahead. We might as well change tires. We've got quite literally nothing to lose on this. So let's go ahead and go to full wets. Let's see. I'm not going to touch the fuel this time because I don't think we're going to be on full wets that long. Again, no repairs. We're going to try to squeeze this as best we can. Baby jacks go up, tires go on. All right, everything looks good. All right, now we're into full wets territory. Now we're there. Everybody comes in and takes on the full wets, so that's keeps us on par with everybody else, which is not good for us. I was hoping there'd be a few cars that would stay out there, other than our lowly number 2 car. Oh, wow. 0 stamina. I wonder what happens at 0 stamina. Are they just going to wreck? All right, let's go ahead and put in our final driver. And yeah, I think 59, that should be enough stamina to get us there, ignoring the red section. Let's go ahead and put on, sure, why not, full wets. Plenty of fuel. I don't plan on bringing them back in again unless it starts to really dry out. All right, can we please go back to the car I wanted? Thank you. All right, so you can see, I mean, we are just well off the pace at this point. So this is one of the fun parts of the game. I mean, you gain some on the field. You gain some through picking up better drivers, better pit crew, better equipment by devoting time and money to new parts. And then the other cars get better as well. So you have to keep working at it. So over time, we'll work on the HQ. But of course, that's going to take a lot of money to do that. So we're a little bit of ways away from doing that. So there's a lot to do in this game, and that's what keeps you busy. That's what allows things to happen for you. And that's what makes it worth it in the end whenever you're finally able to get to where you want to be, which is ultimately winning races and winning championships. All right, so it looks like we're going to be able to finish the race on these tires because we're going to stay roughly in full wet territory for the remainder of the race, it appears. Yeah, no reason to come in and try to take on any other tires. Okay, everything is got a low condition. Yeah, are we going to make it 14 more minutes with this rear wing? And ultimately, it really doesn't matter because we are way, way out of the points. So right now, we are simply biding our time until we can get better components in an attempt to race with these guys. All right, what are the conditions here? They're actually better. I guess that's the benefit of never pushing. Wait, which parts are not looking too healthy? I mean, we got 19%, but come on now. We're looking over here at 6%, which could go to 0 just at any moment. How about that? We're looking at, wow, almost 50 seconds just out of 22nd place. Yikes. Not very good. So, of course, we're going to be working on the engine reliability at some point. As again, it's a process. So we'll get to it as we continue to work through these different parts and pieces. So we'll work on a new engine, or not a new engine rather, but a engine reliability increase. And as we can do that, then we can turn up the engine mode, at least for most of the race, if not the entire race, and try to get some more speed out of the car that way. But yeah, there's some things we can do, but everything has a trade-off, and I absolutely love that. Oh, there we go. Looks like something just gave way. Yep, the rear wing. Of course, the rear wing would not smoke like that, but we get the point. All right, so there we go. An abysmal finish for us at race number 3 of the season. That is hard to watch. But boy, does it make it sweet once you get to those seasons where you are really running with speed. That's when it gets a lot of fun. All right, of course, no issues for us in scrutineering, and I don't plan on there being any in the near future. Interested to see what the money comes out as. Should be somewhere around 800,000 to $1 million that we lost here, I think, if memory serves me correctly. All right, wow, very good driver form there. In fact, really across the board, 7.1 isn't great, but it's definitely not terrible either. Okay, not bad. All right, wow, only 644,000. I like that. It must not be counting in. I'm not going to spend the time to go through all of these and dissect it, but it must not have been counting in the fact that we have a pay driver. Maybe that's what it was. But anyway, 644,000 is all we're losing, so that is great. We keep that up, we'll get to build all the parts and pieces that we want to. All right, so here we are back to the main menu. So another lackluster performance from us, but again, it's all a process, and we are hanging in there for better times that we will get to in the future. For now, thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned for more of our Let's Play series of Motorsport Manager.